Woo! All right, so I've got something that I thought about and I want to put out there, and maybe someone else will vibe with this. Now, I've gotten frustrated over the years with people's interpretations of what CrossFit is, especially in the programming side of things. You know, running a programming company, that's something that happens. But I realized that I can't really get angry at people for misinterpreting what they're doing. And I realized this is because essentially people have been playing a game of telephone with how they learned CrossFit programming. Now, hear me out. When we first started doing CrossFit, when the world started doing CrossFit, there was one website for doing CrossFit, and this was 2000. What was it, 2001 all the way through, I mean, there's still just one website, but there were not affiliates, and there wasn't a thing you could really go to up until 2004. They started popping up and cropping up here and there. But if you wanted to do CrossFit, you would go to a website called CrossFit.com. That's where you would go to do CrossFit. There wasn't really a local CrossFit gym that would give you CrossFit. Now, what happened was, all of the original people who set up the original gyms, who did CrossFit in the early days, they, at some point in time, did a long period of CrossFit.com. They did programming straight from the horse's mouth. Literally from the mind of the person who created the program and the methodology, they did CrossFit. You got a feel for what that feels like. And then, say they went to a level 1 seminar, or say they decided to open up their own affiliate, they open up their own affiliate. And those people, being pumped on CrossFit and understanding the methodology in their own way, did their own programming. And at that gym that did their own programming, they probably affected it just a little. You know, they threw in some things they personally enjoyed, or how their little spin on the CrossFit methodology, which is totally acceptable and okay to do. But what happens is, then members go to that gym, and members get fired up on it, and members attend it for 6 months, and they get this slightly affected version of CrossFit. Not bad, everything's good. But then they go to a level 1, and they get a 2-day course that gives them some information on how it's all done. And then they go off and decide to set up their own affiliate. Now, their primary understanding of what CrossFit is from that affiliate experience that they had. Not from CrossFit.com, but from the affiliate experience that they had. So that's their feel for what CrossFit is. Now, they go off and they then do their own little version of what they originally experienced. So they take their own influence and they put that on to an already slightly affected version. And then they set up their gym and they run it and they do their thing and yada, yada, yada. A guy goes to their gym or a girl goes to their gym, gets fired up on CrossFit, and boom, they go to a level 1. Their prior experience to CrossFit is also, it's 2 steps removed now from the source, which was CrossFit.com, and now it's slightly affected twice. And then they put their little effect on it. And this keeps happening over and over, to where there's many, many people who have never, ever, ever done CrossFit.com programming. They've never got it straight from the horse's mouth. They never have understood CrossFit as constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity. They understand it as the affected version of the affected version of the affected version of the person who went to the level 1, did a 2-day course, and then came off and started their own affiliate based off of their understanding of 2 years of training at a particular gym, getting it beat into them. That's what CrossFit is, and then only having 2 days to maybe unwrap some of that. Now, I don't see an issue with this, in the sense that it's all fantastic stuff, and there's many ways to do, skin a cat and do this stuff correctly. However, it does sometimes lead down rabbit holes of not doing things for the intended purpose that they were originally set out and made to be for. And what I mean by that is, all of our programming should always be chasing the adaptation. So we're trying to do something with our program, not just do CrossFit. We're trying to get fit, and fit as per the definition of work capacity across broad time and modal domains. So we're using our programming to increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains, doing CrossFit to get fit. And as long as the goal is to continually increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains, and that's not tomorrow, that's not 2 weeks from now, that's not a month from now, this is 10 years down the road, the programming should always keep that end goal in mind and should be reevaluating and adjusting to accommodate that. If you're doing too much too often, hurting people, undertraining people, overtraining people, there's so many ways that you can make this not go quite right. All I ask is that you constantly re-examine what you're doing and see if it's really the best way for achieving that end goal. And not just the end goal of having people be at your affiliate. Like, people will go to what they want a lot of the times, but if you create a good enough space, people will come for what they need, which is to be fit and to be fit for the rest of their lives. And if you constantly are giving people exactly what they want, oftentimes people don't know what they want. And they might be addicted to a certain feeling that is not necessarily giving them what they need. Can you pander to that a little bit? Sure. Should that be how you program? Nah. So again, I'm not mad. I think it's understandable that there's this big, long, game of telephone to where the programming that we see at a lot of CrossFit gyms has never been experienced, or the programmers have never experienced CrossFit.com as it was written, so they don't know what it feels like. And they're working off an affected version of an affected version of an affected version of an affected version of an affected version, their own version of that affected version. So, something to think about. Remember, all we're trying to do is make people more fit in the long run via a very specific definition of fitness. As long as you're doing that, and you're constantly reevaluating, good to go.